Yes people, what is good? I am BA back once again with a brand new mini-series. We are going to the Pacific. Now, I did say I wouldn't mind a little break from war, but I also said what the Patreons vote on goes, and the Patreons were like, fuck you BA, you're getting more war. Fully accept that, and away to the Pacific we go. Now, before we start this series, I feel like I have to precursor it a bit, because I noticed a lot of people came to my first Band of Brothers reaction, but then they didn't like the way I carried myself as a reactor. I got a few comments like, how dare you disrespect our veterans like that? And hey, yo, first of all, I'm a citizen of the universe. I see things from all sides of every war. I never try and disrespect anybody, and deep down I have respect for anybody who's got the balls to do what they think's right and fight to the death for what they think's right, regardless of whether the government are being nefarious or if there's more to it or anything like that. I respect everybody who does that, but I reserve the right to take the piss out of absolutely everything. And most people who come to this channel know me by now and know that I'm just doing it for entertainment purposes. If I can make you giggle once throughout your day, then it's rewarding to me. And that's my only goal. And don't think it's like some anti-American shit either. Some of my best friends are American, I love America, and if I was reacting to Braveheart for the first time, I would be taking the piss out of them in the exact same way I take the piss out of everything else. And I know that 95% of the people watching this know what I'm like by now, I'm just warning the new 5%, okay? So with all that out of the way, I'm looking forward to getting into this. I will butcher 90% of these episode names because I've had a look at them and holy shit. But this is episode 1 of the Pacific. Guadalcanal Lecky is my guess for how you pronounce it. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Looked like someone was doing a reverse line of gunpowder there. Which is quite frightening to think that that's what my brain jumped to before charcoal. So one thing I'm instantly getting from the credit sequence is this is definitely nowhere near of a star-studded cast as we had with Band of Brothers. I did not recognise a single one of those names. Is there any reason why they didn't have such a cast of A-listers for this one in comparison to Band of Brothers? Tim Van Patten though, I know that name. Boardwalk Empire, Sopranos, he's directed episodes of Rome, he gets all over the place doing legendary shit. If Tim Van Patten is in any way involved, we are in good hands. Oh, and Tony Toe, I made fun of him during Band of Brothers. Spielberg still on production duties. Is Tom Hanks still involved in this one as well? There he is. I was waiting for his name. So it is the same production team then. By definition, you would assume that means it's going to have similar production values. Oh jeez. It was such a rough ride to get to 1946 in Band of Brothers. I feel like they've unfairly rewound the time and are now forcing me to sit through it again from a different perspective. Which is, you know, exactly what they're doing essentially.
Bob Lecky. I'm your neighbor from across the street.
I know who you are, Bob.
Bob's got a hot neighbour.
Well, if I don't see you before you go, take care of yourself.
Damn, Bob, maybe you should second guess this. She seems like she really likes you. It's always a tough call for men though. Getting to shoot guns or hanging about with women, it's, depends on your mood.
Come on, did I fuck this up or what?
Oh yeah.
Attention on deck!
Oh, okay, it's John Berthenol. I know this guy, obviously.
Carry on!
Popeye's leading the charge, I see.
The difference between the freedom of the world and its enslavement.
It's an epic way to start a speech, not gonna lie.
Malay Peninsula, Hong Kong, the Philippine Islands.
And I also know this actor, he's been in so many things, but he's just one of those character actors that I don't remember the name of.
Hitler is not going to be our job. Not until they can't whip him without us.
It's not gonna be another one of these shows, is it?
The NCOs, with the chevrons on your sleeves and the instinct in your guts and the blood on your boots.
This guy can give a good speech to rally the troops.
Ready to sail across God's vast ocean. where we will meet our enemy and kill them all.
I'm not even American and I want to enlist in this guy's unit. I'd put on an accent. If he's going to give speeches like that every day, I'm down.
Where you both been? We had to walk from the station. We took the wrong street. Yeah, Manny had the wrong street. You believe that?
When was the Pacific filmed, by the way? Because I didn't realise John here had been in anything pre-The Walking Dead. And this looks like it'll be quite a big role for him. So he's had quite a few legendary roles already.
Let's say a year from tonight, we'll sit down at this table again for a welcome home feast.
You wish it was a year from tonight, mate. Would be hard to enjoy this dinner, knowing it might be the last time everyone's going to be in that room together ever again.
Wish I could have brought my typewriter.
So why you need that?
I thought I might fight by day and write by night, Dad.
I'd have been the same if I was enlisted to war, to be honest. I don't think I'd get much sleeping done, and I'm a creative writer myself, so that would have eased me to sleep getting a little bit of time to write every night.
Your mother said I was a fool not to buy a Ford. Hope she's not right.
Again, I mentioned this during Band of Brothers, but if you follow the paper trail, there's heavy links from Henry Ford to the Nazi Party itself, and definitely some of his business money was siphoned over to that side of the war. Make it out what you will, but quite a few rich people in America were pro-Nazi Party, giving some of their business money to the Nazis. Prescott Bush is another one, if you look into that. There's books written on these things. I'm not too knowledgeable on the subject, but you can check it out if you weren't aware of that. Is he not fit to enlist or something? The doctor looks disappointed.
Eugene, I'm sorry.
What did that mean? Eugenia. I have no idea what that is.
The boy's disappointed, Mary Frank.
I'm his mother.
So did the mother tell the doctor that he wasn't able to go, maybe? It's something I never thought about, but I suppose if you could get a doctor to do that for you and you didn't have to go to war, I bet a lot of people who were anti-war or just cowardly probably did that. Or in this case, it's nothing to do with a guy, it's his own mum telling the doctor to do that, if that is what in fact has just happened.
And the British Empire, compared to those of Japan. When we
I mean, maybe I got that situation completely wrong, but it looked like that's what was happening.
Barrack Room Ballads by Rudyard Kipling. Well, thank you, Gene, but I didn't... It's just if you need something to read on the train or...
Little sing-along book to raise the morale?
Take care of yourself, Greaser. You don't have to worry about me.
Easy enough to say that. Everybody feels indestructible, but you know, it's just like a roulette when you're actually in the war. If your ship or your plane is unlucky enough to take a direct hit, no matter how bulletproof you are, you will die.
Today's the day, Marines! This is it! Today's the day!
This guy just cannot wait to go into hell.
He's coming through! Hey, come on, guys!
Hopefully they're not using oranges in the same way they do in The Godfather, otherwise all these guys are dead.
Take out an entire Jack regiment all by myself. Line them up, mow them down.
There's always one.
Professor Lick, enlighten us.
Without a sign, his sword the brave man draws, and that's no omen but his country's cause.
So this guy is called Lecky, which means this entire episode is partially named after him, so he's got to be an important character.
Time, monkeys! Want to use that shit island and its airfield to kill us! We'll yank the surviving Japs!
Jesus Christ. I'm sure this is accurate to the period of how they spoke, but wow. Imagine modern Japanese Americans watching this show and shit. It must be rough. Uh-oh. These are the boats that I am only familiar with being the ones that went onto Normandy Beach and got fucked up. Just by boat design, this isn't looking good.
We'll get him, baby!
Oh, the Band of Brothers cast flying overhead. This is the exact moment where your fight or flight instincts would kick in, I feel. I'm lucky I'm Scottish. Most Scottish people have what they call genetically the warrior gene, which is why we're all classed as so crazy. Which I feel like does the Scottish people a disservice, by the way. Just because we have the warrior gene doesn't mean we were like some crazy berserker class who ran aimlessly toward gunfire. We were known for our cunning and strategy. But it's easy to just label people like that, you know, crazy, I guess, if they are fearless in times of fight or flight. Oh, that's interesting. We followed the boats that didn't get fucking absolutely pancaked. It's nice to see them just have a peaceful entry onto the island and get some coconuts.
Try using your head, Shuffler. It's big and rock-like.
Shots fired. At his head as well, which is quite dangerous.
Japs might have poisoned the coconuts.
They poisoned 1 billion coconuts?
Way to ruin their coconut enjoyment instantly.
Clean the sand out of your weapons. We move in 3 minutes. Let's go find some Japs.
Oh my god, this is about the 30th time I've heard the J word already this episode. I'm not trying to be some woke prude, it's just jarring language, okay? And I understand why it's done. You have to dehumanize the enemy to live with the fact you're killing other human beings. I get it. Seems like they left in a hurry. They must have just seen the American boats approaching and been like, fuck this, back up. Oh, my man's got a Thompson with a drum. Nice. Someone in the comments said they didn't use drums in the war. This guy fucking does. He's ready for everyone. Fuck having to be the guy that lugs that giant machine gun around. It's supposed to be mounted, I believe. That'd be just such a heavy thing to have to carry. And pity help him if he has to run from anything. This would actually be a great setting for a Predator movie. You know, make it under the guise of during a war, and then all of a sudden the Predator's fucking up soldiers from both sides. Write that one down, Predator owners. Because I know you all watch these reactions. You can't fool me.
Gibson, you okay?
Fine.
For fuck's sake, Gibson. World War II definitely had some of the most iconic guns though. Is there ever a more iconic loadout in war than the M1 Garands and Thompson machine guns? I don't know what their sidearms would have been, but I can only assume they would maybe be Colt 1911s. It's a design that stood the test of time and has obviously been around since 1911, so that would make sense. Oh shit. Damn, he had his dick cut off as well. That's fucking brutal. One guy decapitated, one guy de-penised. Definitely sends a message. A penisless message. That is the Colt 1911, right? So I was correct about the sidearm. It's a good handgun. What the fuck? Is it an attack or is it not? Did they accidentally shoot their own man?
Did he say the password?
I don't know.
Ah shit, so it was friendly fire. That sucks.
Guess we took the airfield. Let's go home.
If only it was that simple.
Let's assume the Japs are watching right now, preparing to come at us.
Assume. They are.
Yeah, the guy makes a fair point. They 100% are.
That's Admiral Turner blowing the whole Jap fleet to the bottom of the channel.
I love your optimism.
Gotta be optimistic in times like this. Also, this is completely different than I was expecting it to be so far, in that I assumed we would be actually focusing on the guys who are in these ships, not guys who were going to land. This is very much sort of like Saving Private Ryan, but just focusing on the ships that didn't get bombarded as they entered Normandy Beach.
She went down with half the battalion's ammo, most of our grub and medical supplies, and all our asswipe.
Shit. Did the Japanese have sea superiority in this war, or was it just a clever tactic they used to take out all those ships? Because they seemed like ready for war battleships, so how were they bested there?
It's made out of donkey piss, but it's not bad.
I'll pass on the donkey piss, thanks. I'll stick to my mule urine. Anytime these guys get to set up this gun, they must be like, fucking finally. I bet these two ended the war with weightlifter level biceps. Those things were not light.
Stay low, stay low. Just try to spot our positions. Hold your fire. Hold your fire.
Oh, it would be so hard not to open fire when you saw this. I know exactly what these guys are saying. They are just trying to spot their positions, but even a couple bullets to take out the searchlights, I don't know. It would be stupid. It would give away your position, I'm aware of that, but to see them so close and to not engage would just feel strange.
Jesus Christ. There are thousands of them.
So that's just Japanese ships left in the sea now. Fuck, these guys have got their backs against the wall already. What's going to happen when they run out of supplies? Oh, Jesus. If it's not the enemy, it's the fucking alligators.
Destroy any letters you have with any dates or addresses.
Can't even keep your correspondence. That's rough. I love the look of these old school cylindrical machine guns. They obviously have been trumped by modern technologies, but the look of them is quite iconic. Shit! I don't know which one of them gave the position away there, but that was quite a coordinated open fire on the Japanese side. And again, I said this during my Band of Brothers reactions, but see the ferocity of just tracer rounds zooming past you at night time. Just looks like an absolute wall of death. They are going to suffer some casualties tonight. Was that guy wounded or just scared? He didn't look wounded.
Damn it! He's lost it! Come on! Keep moving, keep moving!
Yeah, he's just being a pussy. Why do people like that even show up? This is why drafting civilians is a bit weird, because there's a chance you will draft a coward. There's a chance you will draft a psychopath. You do not know when it's a random draft. There's a chance you'll draft Muhammad Ali and he won't even be able to use his jab. Also, spare a moment's thought for all the alligators in this creek who were just getting a peaceful night's sleep and then this shit goes down. Holy shit. Dead bodies as far as the eye can see. That's so grim.
They just kept on coming.
A real turkey shoot.
Were they all Japanese dead? So that was a successful night for the Americans then. Oh shit! On one hand, you know, fuck. But on the other hand, at least the dude went out fighting like a G. You would have been proud if an American soldier had done that, so you know, we have to extend the same courtesy to all our universal citizens. Guy was a badass. He knows he's fucked. There's no honour in toying with this dude like that. Either take him as a captive or just finish him off. Don't torture him. Colt 1911 to the rescue. Thank you, one guy with a moral compass there.
Captain Jameson's been on leave.
I suppose you would do shit like that if the smell of the dead was so bad. I'd rather smell, you know, cigarette butts than dead bodies.
Sir, got you promoted to corporal.
This is again a lot like Band of Brothers, where a lot of people were getting promotions while in the field. The sad truth and reality of war. Everyone's got parents that love them, family that love them, brothers, sisters, wives, girlfriends they're fighting for because their government have told them that the enemy is a threat to their liberty and freedom. On every side of every war ever, there has been good, honest people doing what they think's right.
This great undertaking for God and country has landed us in a tropical paradise.
Don't know if I'd quite refer to it as a tropical paradise at this moment. It perhaps was before all you guys and the Japanese got there.
Want to get it really right for you. How kind.
At least he wasn't shot in the ass. That's how you know he wasn't a part of Easy Company.
Hey, you guys forget to set the alarm? Yeah, where you been?
Up with the son of Samoa, screwing your girlfriend.
At least these guys have shown up in a bit better spirits. They haven't seen all the shit these guys saw the night before.
You seen those guys? They look like they've been through the ringer. That's one way of putting it.
Why are the reinforcements moving past the original unit? Are they setting up somewhere different? You'd have thought there would have been strength in all being grouped in the same area. Well, there's pros and cons to it. Obviously, artillery strikes would wipe out way more of them, but if it was just a firefight, they would have way more chance being huddled together as a large group.
Your sister and I went down to... Your
sister
and I went down to see the wreckage of a ship they sunk.
The soldier banter, you gotta have a bit of it to keep the spirits up in amongst all this other shit.
Let your family, your friends, and your country down. Because that's what I'm afraid of.
That must be the guy we saw in the first scene getting told no by the doctor.
Your friend wants to be a Marine.
Yeah, but his father won't let him. He's got a heart murmur.
So it was what I thought. So his mum told the doctor to tell him he couldn't go. Either that or he does genuinely have a heart murmur. But it seemed like it was orchestrated by his mother.
Happy birthday, dear Phyllis. Happy birthday to you.
What a joyous way to give your position away.
Are you now? You're surely fucked now.
Not as fucked as they're going to be over the next few episodes. I've got a feeling they were easing us in gently in this episode. Okay, and that was episode 1 of the Pacific, Guadalcanal Lecky. Again, I've probably got that wrong, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Guadalcanal Lecky, what did I think of that? I was instantly surprised as to the angle they chose to show this from. For some reason, I assumed it being called the Pacific, we would see loads of stuff from inside the ships, ship-on-ship combat, etc. But it was not that at all. It was almost similar to Saving Private Ryan, but if you took those boats landing on the beach to a different location where they weren't met with instant resistance, and on top of that, the first time they had a big firefight, it was incredibly successful for them. Now, there will be no drama if from episode to episode things continue to be incredibly successful for them. So I'm assuming the show was easing us in gently before really running these guys through the ringer, which is what I imagine is going to happen over the next couple episodes after this one. But I appreciate episode 1 not being too rough, unless of course you're a Japanese soldier, in which case it was hell on earth. As I said, I class myself as a citizen of the universe first, and you have to understand that's not just like if you're American, you've got, 300 years of history to be proud of. I've got thousands of years of history to be proud of as a Scotsman, from the fucking Romans trying to destroy us to the English, and trust me, I'm so proud of everything my nation did. That being said, I still try and take myself out of where I was born, and from that perspective, it's just always so rough to watch this shit, no matter what side is written to be the good guy in the show creator's eyes, or what side we're following it from. Humanity is humanity, and most people don't do things thinking they're doing them for evil reasons. You wouldn't have got people on the Japanese side going, ha ha ha, we're evil, we're gonna kill all these guys. That's not how they were thinking. They were thinking exactly how the Americans were thinking, and it's just human beings slaughtering other human beings. So at the end of the day, to see a beach full of dead bodies, I'm never gonna respond like, yeah, fucking kill them all. It's just not in my genetic makeup to think like that. Always brutal, always horrific, and unfortunately a necessity when governments and politics force their people to do shit like this. I understand all these people are doing what they have to do out of necessity. There is very few people joining these causes just to inflict wicked damage on another set of human beings. But yeah, just always some rough shit to see to me. I'm also happy to see that they carried over that high production value from Band of Brothers. Absolutely amazing. You couldn't really tell that this was a made for television thing. The same can be said for Band of Brothers. With the time periods these shows were made in, and given the fact it was television, I genuinely expected a drop in perceivable quality from things like Saving Private Ryan the movie And I've been pleasantly surprised to say that, like, this is some of the highest production levels ever for TV shows. It's got to be. From the uniforms, to the weapons, to the settings, to the vehicles, to the violence, to the gunfights, it all looks so authentic, and you just have to applaud the show for being able to do what they did with the budget they had at the time that this was made, because I'm assuming the budget they had to make this show is nowhere near like what, you know, seasons 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones got, for example. And to me, whenever things are done practically, they stand the test of time longer. So even though things like the Avengers movies and Game of Thrones are doing things on a grandiose scale and certain elements have to be made with CGI, I always feel like if I was a filmmaker with a $200 million budget, I would do everything possible to be practical with my effects. Whether we had to make giant animatronic dragons or anything we had to do for it to be actually on screen getting recorded. Because it is so hard to trick the human eye, and even to this day, when I watch things like Game of Thrones and shit, it pulls me out of it the second I'm aware I'm looking at CGI. And if you're talking the Avengers movies, it's like 90% CGI. They don't even fucking let the actors wear the suits anymore. They're CGI suits. Do you know how fucking lazy and lame that is? Everyone was banging on about the Black Panther movie being dope. I haven't watched it, but I did watch the final fight scene on YouTube, and I've seen video game cutscenes with better production values than that shit. That does not appeal to me in any way. I'm all about practical effects being done well, and this show is a testament to that. Absolutely incredible. And while I am looking forward to next week's episode, I'm also very well aware that we're not going to get 2 good news episodes in a row. This is going to get rough for these guys from here on in, so I'm bracing myself. That being said, I loved this episode. If you've liked this reaction, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron. It helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA. Peace.